It's Madden NFL 23, and this one features the Ravens' veteran wide receiver. No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Ravens and the Giants. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. And, CD, you look at the Giants in our ball game here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
The Ravens offense ready to take over here. And the one we'll be watching is this man at wideout. And you wonder, what can he do for an encore, Charles, after the numbers that he put up a week ago?
That's a great question, because not only was he the talk of the NFL, he's talking the entire football world. You had little kids out there begging their parents for his jersey, wanting to be him, and put up those kind of numbers in the backyard. Now, look, I think he'll approach what he did last week. A 6 for over 100 yards. I think that's well within reach.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Ravens at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything. Play defensive. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Jackson will throw again. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on the good side of this game right now with a lead, but they were on the bad side last week in that loss to Cincinnati, so now trying to make amends. Jackson on first down. They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Devin Duvernay came into the NFL with the reputation of being a playmaker, and he lived up to it in 2021. All-pro return man, led the league in punt return average. Baltimore wants to get that explosiveness more involved in their offense, and here it nets them a 1st down.
To throw again is Jackson. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Jackson got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. His 14th touchdown now of the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That's just how he grew up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
We had a pair of division rivalries in primetime last weekend, Week 5, and we've got another pair of good ones coming up here in Week 6. Starting tonight, Cowboys and Eagles from Philly on Sunday night, and then tomorrow Monday Night Football has the Broncos and Chargers from SoFi. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. Kickoff 5:15 local time for that one out in Southern California. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than... And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Open man is Duvernay. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
Let's go. Let's go right here.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there at 22. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Jackson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They go play action with Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson, that's caught at the 1. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak from a yard out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
And now here come the Ravens. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach? Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's got his man downfield. That's Bateman. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He'll find Bateman once more. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 3rd quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. It is the Ravens ready to take over. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out. The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Again, Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Caught the defense napping a little bit there, expecting the spike, faked it, completed the pass.
You have to be prepared for everything nowadays. You can't just go off of the look, oh, they're going to spike it and relax. Now they complete passes downfield, and usually in key situations, this is a tough one for a defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
They'll run with Dobbins, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Baltimore, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.